first drag race. You say, how can anything be louder than that? Stand back. It's coming. Oh boy, they've got a little more clutch, a little more power now. Both of them hooking up hard.
Shroud's got on the thing.
The shroud's gone.
Ripped her out, so we have to do a little glass work.
Well, we're in the program, I think.
6:15, I think. I think so.
Motherfucker was just...
Huh?
I run it, you know, she much runs a mile an hour, too, because she was traveling pretty fast, you know. I run her through the lights. I didn't mean to do that, but she was
what kind of mile an hour? Anybody here?
I don't know. It had to be pretty good, though.
You know that some of it's just, you know, the same time before?
Yeah.
Okay, you know when that thing started to shake before, you know? The thing started just almost on the verge, and then it just straightened out.
It just started to shake. I know. I saw the tires coming through.
Huh? Oh, Dave, again.
Oh, no.
What are you, popped another one? Look at this thing. Filter, car bottle?
That's the one I popped off by accident.
Yeah. Okay, that's all right.
It was costing too much, man. I'm saying $80 every time. No. That's not the one that had the bad valve this morning, is it? No. I have to go in the starting line.
6:15. I don't know what the mile an hour was. I couldn't believe it, huh? 6:15. You just set a new track record. Track record was 6:18.
Hey, is that right?
Yep.
Well, mile an hour.
I didn't hear it.
Are we here or what?
Was
Put that Howard decal on there now. Wait a minute. Put that Howard decal on there.
Boy, she was smoking a little bit, though.
Drag racing, of course, has evolved from racing right on the streets. That's where it all began with, you know, a bunch of kids that get together and block off a street or do whatever they had to do to race their cars from a standing start as far as they would run. Traditionally, the distance was a quarter mile, 1,320 feet. And from that evolved the things that we're doing today, which are acceleration tests and a standing start. Naturally, we're much more sophisticated now than we were 10 years ago in that we have electronic timing devices that time the cars to within a thousandth of a second. We have side-by-side heads-up racing by cars that cost as much as $30,000 and $40,000 to build. From the days when they were running a quarter mile at 11 seconds, we've now got cars running a quarter mile in 5.5 seconds and speeds over 250 miles an hour. Scientists and engineers never thought that it would get this far. They predicted in 1956 that a man could not withstand the G-forces on his body. Well, here we are going 100 miles an hour faster than that, half the time they said it would happen. Where we're going to go, I guess nobody knows. If Ralph Nader and the ecologists don't put us right away, I'd say we'll probably see a 4-second run somewhere. Just a guess.
Well, I think it's one of the largest spectator sports in the world right now, and I think it's getting bigger. The only thing that we're fighting right now is the noise end of it. When you take an engine like mine that puts out in the area of 2,000 horsepower, and the noise is about the same as a jet taking off, the people around get tired of hearing it, and it seems to be hurting the sport a little bit. Lions Drag Strip, they had to close down because of the noise.
When we called them funny cars originally, I don't think we ever dreamed that they'd get to the popularity they are now. Fact of the matter is, a funny car is really a dragster with a fiberglass body on it, and it's a replica of a street car. I mean, it looks very much like a Chevrolet Monza or a Mustang too or whatever, except for the fact that it weighs about 1,750 pounds and has an explosive motor in it that's capable of pushing the car to speeds of, well, Don Perdome's national record of 240 miles an hour at 597 is absolutely phenomenal. And as far as kids go, funny cars are the accepted thing.
The first funny cars first originated about in 1965, and they were funny-looking cars, and this is the reason the name got tagged on them. It's needless to say, a car like this, there's really nothing funny about it. I teach high school auto shop in Cerritos, and this car I did build myself in my garage with a little bit of help with some of my friends, but I get no actual cash from anybody. All the money that goes in this car comes out of my paycheck.
To be competitive in the AA Fuel funny car ranks, you better have at least $100,000 going in because it's going to cost you that much. And if you really want to be competitive and try and run with Perdome around the country and go on tour without any sponsors at all, you probably better look at close to $200,000. So it's no cheap matter. It's cheaper for somebody. People come and say, I'd rather own a funny car. I say, well, easier to go to the Indianapolis 500. That's a much easier thing to qualify for, much easier thing to get in, a lot less than trying to run a funny car around the country.
156.79. Ron Ely. The Chevrolet 6 in the pit lane at 10.40. 10.40 with a 1 at 133.53.
Why, it's definitely a money game. It's a cruel way to look at it, but that's the way it turns out. When you're running as good as the best of them, then it's going to take its toll on parts. And then it comes right back down to, can you afford to keep replacing the parts to stay there? So therefore, you either run it at maximum or you back off a little bit and try to preserve your parts. And if you start backing off to preserve your parts, then you're not going to perform as well.
Money. You've got some guys that have been in it for 15, 18 years that are always there, and these other guys come in and come out. It's due to what they can afford, they do. It's very expensive. Very few people actually net any money. The bottom line in drag racing is it's a very high dollar sport. It's about what it amounts to, and very few guys actually net any money off it.
Burnout's a most necessary ritual in funny car racing. Sure, they're fun to watch. Tire smoke streaming from the windows of these cars, but it really is not fan time at all. It's very necessary to put some fresh, sticky rubber down on the pavement, to heat up the tires. And the crewmen play a very important part in bringing these drivers back into those tracks.
My total investment of racing cars will gross between $300,000 and $400,000 a year. It's just like a gunfighter. The way to build your reputation is to beat the big names or win some big races. Where the guy that's there who is favored, the promoter expects him to do well, so he's got to be right there all the time. Can't take any chances. And all these other guys, if they beat him and blow their car up, they could care less because they'll go home, but they also put that guy out. You know, to stay in the top half a dozen cars, I think is plenty tough because there's so many people out there, you know. But I've seen a lot of them come and a lot of them go, and the money, of course, I think is the big factor. I like the competition, I like the racing, I like the big races. I like racing the guys that are tough, the ones you don't think you can beat.
Unbeaten in one full year of NHRA competition, went to the starting line all over this country. The NHRA Winston major events 31 times he left that starting line, never to be defeated. The brand new national record holder at 597.240, the winningest driver in the history of drag racing. Welcome the Snake, Don Prudhomme, to Fremont Raceway.
McEwen had an awfully good year. We had several match races, and he beat me majority of them. But in the last couple of years, he's been off. So when a guy's off, you know, like 2 years in a row, naturally, someone's going to say he's a pushover or something like that. But he tries awfully hard, and any given time, he could beat you.
We used to be very good buddies, close friends, and we raced, okay? Then I got a deal, an idea to start really getting into the sponsor deal. I was kind of the first one to really get into the money sponsors, the hustle of sponsors.
Yeah.
And I knew some people at Mattel. So I set that deal up and went to Prudhomme, and I said, it seems to me that the Mongoose Snake thing would be a natural deal with the kids. Let's go to Mattel and see if we can put a package together and sell it. And if I do it, are you interested? He said, yeah. But he says, you will never get any money. And we went in there and put together a nice 3-year package with them. Got a corporation, Wildlife Racing Enterprises, raced as a team for 3 years. And it just got to the point where I couldn't get along. The guy that I was driving for was very big on nicknames and things, and he says, this is just like the Mongoose and the Snake in Ripley's Jungle Book. So that's, we went and looked up the shit, and that's about the world's ugliest animals, a mongoose, even related to a mink, ferret, weasel family, see? A lot of kids have grown up with us the last 3 or 4 years, followed us into the Monogram and Revell model kits with our pictures on.
Right. Can you tell us anything about that?
Well, this particular car here is a Revell 125th model of the funny car, and so this is the same in the dragster.
You make it yourself?
No, I had a kid across the street make them. It's not, they're so complex. They have have spark plug wire and every detail. Kids want them to be very right down to it, you know, on the thing. And if there's not, they'll write the company letters and say that isn't really the way their car is and stuff. It's a very big selling thing in the country. They sold a lot of those, millions of them. There's a lot of things going on, and drag racing still has never broke into the newspapers. The drag racing fans are hardcore, you know. You run the TV and radio advertisement, and they come out and watch.
Well, the chassis are aircraft alloy steel. It's 4130. It's a high-strength material that you can use because of its lightweight. These cars here, in the chassis alone, there's about 160 hours in it. Base price of our cars start off at $3,800, and then it can go anywhere on up to $15,000 depending on how much of a car he wants. The shelves are made from the original cars, and the wheel wells have been moved around to accommodate the different wheelbases of the chassis manufacturers. And aerodynamics have been set into the body so they can gain their best advantage per mile per hour.
We take a body and rework it, and that becomes a plug. Then we take the mold off the plug. It's a split mold, and it's a one-piece body. In order to get the body out, then you have to start unbolting all these flanges and start pulling the mold apart piece at a time. We're really interested in weight, and this is how you get lightweight bodies.
Did you do the Blue Max?
Blue Max, yes. It's been highly modified. Probably one of the tougher ones we've had to do to adapt to racing. We spent, I'd say, 7 weeks of many, many hours, probably 16 hours a day to get that car ready.
Painting funny cars is like commercial art. You know, that's a Foster and Kleiser sign, but to me it's a work of art. When painting these cars first started, more or less it was left up to the painters. A guy'd come in and go, what looks good on my car? Can you design something, make it different, multicolored type situation? Now, drag racing has got so professionalized, the sponsors have gotten to the point to where they have pre-prepared artwork, and all the painter's job now is a matter of duplicating the pre-prepared artwork, putting it into real life. The general cost of a paint job from the ground up is around $750. By the time they're lettered and everything, probably run out about $12.50. The exterior paint is either 1, acrylic enamel or polyurethane, or 2, acrylic lacquer, which is, most of your trick paints are done in acrylic lacquer. Well, a trick paint job, that's kind of you know, you can take it many ways. My definition of trick paint is exactly what you see here. These two cars are pearl-based cars with candy overlays, a lot of shading. In other words, you notice this yellow shades into a real hot orange, the blue shades into a dark blue, and it's a multicolored situation is what we have there, and that's what I would term trick paint.
Drag racing is like a needle. I mean, when it's under your skin, it's hard to get out.
Did you ever drive a car like this?
Never.
Well, you've only been on the building.
Well, I build them because I love the cars myself. I love drag racing. I used to drive race cars before, but nothing quite like this. And I can't afford to race one of these, so you know, I get it all out by building it. One thing about drag racing is the only automotive sport that lets the spectator into the pits, and drag racing is a good sport for an ego trip because you've got your fans facing you, telling you right in your face, and you know how he looks like, and he's telling you you're great. When you're driving a NASCAR race car around a track, you know, you never see the spectator, and you hear them clapping and cheering, but you never know who they are, you know. And drag racing, you get to meet your fans, and the more fans you meet, you know, your ego gets just pumped up.
people want to see me more than the car. I can drive a dragster, a funny car, a pro stocker, or what have you, but it's Tommy Ivo that they're more interested in. So therefore, I have got to be with the car and driving it. Without me there, the car falls dead. Well, it started out with the Mickey Mouse Club years and years ago, you know, one of the Mouseketeers, and went on to the Bachelor Father, Donna Reed, Margie, so forth and so on. I was at that for about 28 years.
Here comes the guy that 15 years ago got his start in the Model Marching Show. TV Tommy Ivo. Lists his occupation as drag racer and actor.
Whenever anyone asks me my occupation, I'll say I'm a race car driver instead of a drag racing driver, because they've still, unfortunately, got the stigma of the mud flaps, and drag racing, with some people, holds a very high echelon, you know, but unfortunately not enough of them.
And all of a sudden the car started hazing and he was sideways and shit.
I was looking at the tree and it had the thing all shrouded off. And I was looking at the wrong, I was trying to, what the hell's the light? Oh, there it is. Cha-Cha's enjoying a flourish now because she's a chick, you know. Chicks want to be garbage collectors and jail guards and everything else. So whenever a chick does anything and does well at it, as she has, naturally the media picks it up just like that.
I think Cha-Cha does a very good job. You know, she's a woman driver. I don't think that makes any difference. She's very good on the starting line, and she seems to handle the car all right. She was in a couple of fires with her funny car. You know, she does all right. Of course, with the women's lib thing and everything being a big deal, it was a real easy thing for her to get a lot of publicity last year. Everybody picked right up on that because of the, you know, the Chris Everett and the Billie Jean King and the first woman senator and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's okay. If I had to race her, I'd race her like anybody else, you know.
All you ladies, pay attention, because Cha-Cha, Shirley Muldowney won top fuel, also ran 253 miles an hour through the quarter mile at Orange County International Raceways. That's right, the lady did it.
like $150,000 a year just to maintain this one car.
They're making a fortune.
Well, you've seen Pink's place. You've seen his flow bench, his supercharger motors thing. That costs a lot of money, that stuff he had made. And he is the highest priced engine builder in the country, but I think he does the best work.
Over the years, I would say that all of the top funny cars were running our engines. And when I say top cars, I mean the ones that set the lowest ETs or top speeds or win the majority of the races or set the records.
If I come in here, I'm the customer, I want a complete top fuel engine, the best.
You're looking at about $11,000 for complete. That's aluminum block and aluminum heads and all the latest parts that are available.
Do some people have more than one?
Well, yes. If you're going to be competitive and you want to race and make money, you have to have more than one. You need to have minimum of 2, possibly 3.
Double check everything. Make sure the mains are all okay.
Yeah, I've done the mains for a few times. Okay. Let me just go over them again. Gary, want to go over them again?
This engine here produces approximately 2,000 horsepower, is built, designed, and equipped to run nitromethane, and it uses 6.5 gallons of fuel on a run, a little over 6-second run. They do have a fire problem, and the fire problem is basically oil. To start with, the basic engine doesn't catch fire. What happens is that they run too lean a mixture, and it burns a hole in the piston. And what it does is it blows the gasket out. It's between the valve cover and the cylinder head, and it invariably blows it out on the bottom. And the oil comes out and it goes on the headers. And the exhaust pipes on a supercharged fuel engine are almost cherry red. You can almost see through them, they're so hot. And when that oil gets on them, it's an instant fire. And when the cold fuel coming in and the pressure and the fire coming up meet, then you have the explosion and it blows the supercharger off of the engine. That's John Mulligan.
That guy died.
He's dead. Yeah.
He didn't die in a racing, did he?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. He at Indianapolis a few years ago, they broke something in the clutch, and one of the bolts came out and went through the oil pan, and the oil came out. Yeah. And got on the headers on the exhaust system. This is a front engine dragster, right. And it caught fire, and there's nothing worse than an oil fire. A fire is a fire, but an oil fire burns with intense heat. And the fire came back and it burned its way right through the firewall. And the car's going down the track probably 220 miles an hour, and this flame is coming in under the cowling, you know, and it's just like a torch. They got him out of the car and he was still alive. And they got him to the hospital, but again, they didn't know that much about burns. You know, he had a good fire suit and so forth, but they didn't have fire bottle in the dragsters then.
That man's name was a zookeeper, right?
Zookeeper, right. John Mulligan, zookeeper, right.
keep the tracks clean. We have a truck right past the lights. We have a truck at Dragster Station.
You ever had to get a guy out of a car?
This morning, a couple times out in the field here today. All right through there, we caught that cyclone fencing and it wrapped him up pretty good.
You wrapped? Yeah, they said the tire wrapped around the car.
Wrapped around the tire, wrapped around the whole thing. And they might hit a slippery spot and then hook up again, and that's what'll flip them. That's what just happened to that one that one that flipped right down here at the guardrail. Doug, he was pretty lucky. He only got a broken arm out of that. His car broke in 2 pieces. Other than that, everybody else has walked away today.
I've had some close calls, but luckily I haven't been hurt. But I think everybody has been in the same situation. There's always a close call, so you just can't say how close they are or what would have happened.
What about the danger back there?
It's no more than anything else. Yeah. It's like getting up in the morning.
Are you worried about the danger of getting yourself killed out there?
No.
Do you ever worry about any of these guys?
No, that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, it's one of the worst things that ever happened to me, and it would be like, flipping your street car. It seems like it takes forever for it to quit sliding and scraping well, we weren't going 200 miles an hour. We was only going about probably 100 at the fastest when he collided with me, and we were very lucky that we were only going that fast. It would have been a lot worse, but it's just very hard to explain what it's like. It's the scariest thing that ever happened to me. I got burns on my hands, and that was it.
Now, how about him?
He had a broken leg.
Does a crash like that make you worry? Like today, are you worried about having to go out there and
sure,
that type of thing could happen
I was
again?
I was just as worried about it, before it happened as I am now. I knew my chances when I get in this thing, and I know them now too.
Well, I like to build cars with bodies that have a wide enough opening where a driver can get out. There's been one instance where a driver was in a bad fire, and there wasn't any way he could get out of that car.
Did they get him out?
Yeah, he got out okay on the fire suit saved. The first instant of fire, when you first see that first orange, you can see the fire through the burned down windows which are on a firewall. And the driver pulls a release handle for the fire bottles, which are located in appropriate areas on a chassis with lines to feed into heavy fire areas. And when he pulls on this handle, he can also stop the car at the same time, which is a common thing you'd want to do, is stop and get out. Right now, tires are a little better than what people can get their horsepower to be, so the cars have a tendency to wheel stand. So now it's a big trip ballasting the car up front so that it keeps the car down, and yet still have enough weight where you can have the car launch off of the line initially.
still a sport, but they're doing their best to turn it into show business. It's unfortunate but true, because show business makes more money than sports do. You understand what I mean?
People feel this is more of show business than an actual sport. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's unfortunate that some people think that way, because I sure don't. It's really a sport. It's a professional thing. It's something that I take very serious.
Well, first I guess I was inspired by the movie Patton. I saw the movie Patton, and I thought at that time it'd be a good idea to build an exhibition vehicle in response to a tank. When he was in Germany, I guess the tank was the main weapon that was used, and it was really had a legend followed after that time, and so that inspired me to build a tank. We're sponsored by the United States Army.
You ever been in the Army?
No, I'm a civilian. Well, they have chose to buy an ad on the side of it in goodwill to the youth in general, that the new voluntary army is just like it looks. In other words, it's whatever the individual would like to make of himself.
Well, it gives us the opportunity to talk to the kids. This is a real good tie-in at a particular age group that we're trying to address. The 18-year-old high school student, he's interested in drag racing. That's why the Army's interested in drag racing.
One's Hell's Fire and one's Hell on Wheels. One's a tank, one's a self-propelled howitzer. That's all magnesium. That's really lightweight. That gun weighs approximately 11 pounds. I guess they call it one of their most sacred pieces because it'll put a shell like 18-mile range in a 3-foot square.
These two wheel-standing tanks are the most unbelievable things in the world. Both of them run over 120 miles an hour on the rear wheel. Both of them running blown nitromethane burning engines. They're going to make 2 runs for you to make up for being late.
You can actually see better when the car's in the air than you can when it's down on the ground. And the car actually handles better on 2 wheels than it does 4. Most people don't think it'll run on 2 wheels. Most people think it looks neat, but what do you do with it? Concept has been 100%. I've only had one hassle in 4 years, and that was with a Baptist minister in Tennessee. He said the word hell was contributing to the youth today, and that was the problem with the country, that people had no respect, and it was to be put in the Bible in a non-mention type place.
All right. Well, I think there's 2 types of drag racing. I think there's the individual that drag races on the street, and then there's the individual that drag races in competition out at the track. I'd classify them kind of under two different elements. I think it's a different crowd, really. I think the people that the police are addressing are not the same folks we're dealing with out here. Well, there are monetary considerations that are conducted with our headquarters and on the Snake. But as far as we're concerned, really, it's a goodwill gesture between the two of us.
It's today. Drag racing is today. It's something that's happening now, and the Army is utilizing that form of communication to communicate with the kids, right? To create a link there somewhere. How it works is money. I mean, it's that simple. In other words, Donnie Perdome doesn't have the U.S. Army on the side of his car for a low-dollar deal. I mean, they put up money, and he's a billboard for the Army is what it amounts to.
And I've been doing it for 18 years, and when I don't go racing on a weekend now, it's not as bad as it used to be. I used to think that if there wasn't a drag race on the weekend, that everything was closed. I didn't know there were other things to do. Tall in here, he's resting today so he can hustle girls tonight.
That's right. I'm gonna do you a favor.
Years ago when I first started on tour, I had a station wagon, an old dragster, and we went back east. Then we went on into the bigger, better things, and we ended up with a big truck with the car on the back, and then into the funny car business. Now I don't like to ride with them at all. I don't like to ride with them from my house to Orange County, which is 8 minutes. I'd rather just meet them there. When I'm on tour, from April to September, I like to fly. And of course the expenses are high that way, but that's the way I enjoy doing it now. To a point, it's like an entertainment circus thing. When you start putting the jet dragsters and the wheel standers, and you have the Navy parachute team come in, they're trying to give the people so many different things now to get them out there to spend their money. It's getting so tough to draw the people for a show that you've got to give them more than just a flat. See, a flat drag race is good, but God, only lasts 6 seconds.
Well, Doug Rose, of course, drives a green Mamba jet car, jet dragsters. They're very heavy and sometimes cumbersome, awfully hard to stop, even with the parachutes they have. Rose doesn't have any legs. He'll tell you how safe the cars are all the time and how there's no problem with them. At the same time, he's been a victim of some of the worst accidents in the history of jet dragsters. They're very spectacular. Rose is an excellent driver. They don't go near as fast as the rocket cars because they are so heavy, but there's something to see.
So we need all of you spectators to find a seat, get out of that area, because these fences could weaken and fall over from the thrust of these great jets. Naturally, it just figures, if you think about it, you don't want to be behind a jet car when he turns the afterburner on. Now these are J46 and a J34 jet engine. For some of you old guys that maybe flew during the Korean War, one was in a Navy Banshee, the other one in a trainer. Doug Rose is possibly the fastest jet driver in the world today. Stephanie Rose, well, she loves this car, I'll tell you. She goes out there and she not only polishes the car, she polishes all the rotor blades in it and the stator blades. She knows all about the inside of this car, and she treats it with loving care. Now let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When these cars come up to the starting line, they will come up there with almost 100%. Those engines will be spinning the tip speeds on these rotor blades at near sonic speed. And nobody should be crossing over behind the fence because it's just possible it could be blown over. Now these guys ramp these engines up to 10,000 RPM. The tip speed on the blades are right at sonic, just under sonic. In fact, it actually just blows your mind, the sound of it. Fire pouring out behind the green Mamba right now. We'll listen to them. They're raising up. Their engines now coming alive. As they start up, they'll have a hot start. The fuel, raw fuel pouring out the back. The engine's beginning to wind up. You folks coming up the staging line, don't come up here. Oh my, listen to the compressor begin to stuff that air into the fire area. Oh, listen to these cars. Do you like this? Does this shake you up? Does this save shivers up your spine? Both cars are moving from the staging bay. The afterburner's ready. You heard them pumping and knocking. They're now staging. miles per hour. Do you like those jet cars? Would you like to have them brought back to Fremont in the future and to see them at night? Boy, I'm telling you, I'm going to talk to Bill Donner about it because these are sensational cars. They're absolutely unreal.
Go ahead and leave if you want to leave. I'm telling you, though, we've got a psychiatrist. Our staff psychiatrist is at the end of the parking lot because anybody that'll leave now needs to be committed.
And here they come as the noise level picks up. Double-A funny cars, the Flappers at Fremont. Tied on elapsed time from the first round. Oh, it is a beautiful race. A fantastic race. And the wind lights call it. Don Prudhomme, 6:31, 225. One down, two to go.
Start line, I thought the race was all over. What is mine? I tell you, you think yours is a weak dog, you ought to drive mine. What's up, AJ? Got nothing on the bottom end. You see it down there? How fast we run? I didn't hear the speed. Tell you, man, we had a good old race all the way.
And you stayed right there, and I come on you maybe half a car, and we stayed right there, and then just go down towards the lights, and you went out on me a little bit. But they were pretty good down at the end. Both of them. I might have got a good draft, little your draft, and may run 230.
Yeah, that's the only reason I did. I got your draft. You're a little ahead of me.
Yeah, sure. Just wasn't the right, you know, we just weren't ready yet. He had his stuff together. You know, he's been running really good for the last year and a half. You know, he's come up with some combinations that's been working fantastic. And he's just smarter than the rest of us right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now down to the last two races of the evening.
All the races were together at a hotel in the Seattle area, and it all began with a guy eating one match, and then it went to a book of matches, and went to 5 books of matches. I mean, on fire, they just swallow him. And McCullough's a pretty tough guy, and he's at a point now where just recently I just watched him in a bet from somebody eat a whole pack of lit cigarettes all at once. I don't do that. I don't recommend that as a diet. I pretty well like steak and eggs and things like that, but if you're into eating matches, I guess nothing the matter with a nice blue diamond.
Ed McCullough, kind of a bear of a man, really. Very physical guy. He'd fight at the drop of a hat. No mercy to his equipment. Ugh, you could just hear the rod stretching and the valves trying to touch the pistons.
Now that was a burnout that can't be stopped. I don't see how. I mean, he thundered the ground. I mean, hammered it. And took it all the way out to the 8th mile. Jungle Jim Lieberman makes his home in Pennsylvania. This is the place he cut his teeth. He was born here, he lived out here, and he's a professional drag racer.
Oh boy. Noise that's hard to describe. Anybody that's never heard it? It's noise, but there's something delicious about it at the same time. So what it represents, I guess. And Perdome with line. Here he comes. Fresh bullet in the Paisano Matsubara car.
So they can have some room here. Come on now.
And that serves notice in the pits, guys. The snake is here to race.
Apparently, I would guess, okay, you just want to guess, that they might have a crack in the fuel tank. That looks like fuel, doesn't it, Chet, out on the starting line? Nitro?
I understand that we don't have serious injuries. We hope not.
Well, here today at Fremont, of course, we've got, you talk about dangerous things. Everybody knows hang gliders are dangerous, and for sure motorcycles are dangerous, particularly motorcycles that jump over cars. Well, we've got a guy, Bob Correll, who came to us at International Raceway Parks about 4 months ago and said, I've got a hang glider on a motorcycle, and I'm capable of jumping distances of, well, a distance of 50 cars if necessary. Well, of course, we giggled at that and didn't think that was really possible, and we made the guy come out and show us what he could do, and today he's going to perform here at Fremont Raceway. The world's record is listed in the Guinness Book of World Records for jumping cars with a motorcycle. I happen to have certified as 22 cars by Bob Gill in Seattle, Washington about 4 years ago. Well, Gill's completely paralyzed, as is just about everybody else that has tried this sport of jumping motorcycles.
Completely paralyzed in a bed? Is that what you said?
No, paralyzed in a wheelchair from the waist down. He tried to jump over a lake and ran into the side of a cliff. And I mean, it's a very dangerous thing. This is a dangerous thing. I mean, you got to see these guys to believe them.
It scares me when I see, just look at it. How does it affect you?
It scares me every time. It scares me, but I love doing it. Something about it, the limelight, the show business.
And if you're at all weak-kneed or faint of heart, you might as well go home now.
He's doing about 70 miles an hour off the ramp. Now, you figure a regular jumper would be doing about 100. But the thing is with that, even though he's slower, he's going to have different kind of problems. A puff of wind blow him right out of the track. You notice the way it's constructed, he's got a cage around him. If he's thrown forward the way most bikes are throw their riders, he's going to break either his neck or his collarbone and then forward bar. If you catch him on either side, he's going to break a rib or his back. He's gone into a barbed wire fence once, and he come down on the top of 4 cars once.
Now, I've done it twice, but on the second jump, I just barely made it over the last truck. I've since rebuilt the engine on the motorcycle, so I hope that I'll be able to clear it better today.
I wouldn't ride that thing down the drag strip.
It's unbelievable. Guy's nuts, for sure.
Well, his company name says it all. Balls Enterprises, Inc. Here he comes. Look at the smoke off the kite. He's up. He's up. He's flying. Here he comes hard. Bob Correll. Is he something? He is tough. Absolutely magnificent. Bob Correll. All right, here's Ted. He was standing right there. What did it look like right next to the ramps there, Ted?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm thoroughly impressed with it. You guys that have been standing head-on like I was to him when he was coming directly to me, you should have seen him up in the air trying to correct that thing. It was unbelievable. And then all of a sudden the air left it, and you saw instant drop. Too much. Just too much.
Was that something else? Whew. So it'll be Perdome against Jungle. Okay, what a final that could be. Now, Jungle seems to be having a thrash going on over by his car. I mean, maybe he's got a few parts still to put back together, or maybe just a lot of spectators are over there looking at Pam. I don't know which, but he definitely has a crowd around the race car. Jungle put together quite a run in the last round. Jungle ran a 6:19. You know, do you think Lieberman, now that he has a 6:19, will he try to beat the 6:12? I mean, that is really asking a lot of anybody to run better than a 6:12. In fact, I think only 3 cars in drag racing history might have run quicker than a 6:12.
She had to be good. Jungle next to the chance. Get the car, man. Go on. Oh, nice. Good up there.
Well, what a beautiful day down at the strip. Putting my foot to the floor. Well, come on, baby. Give me just a couple miles more. Pushing like I never pushed before. Well, I'm pushing to the limit. Got to get a couple miles more. Yeah, mama, 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 you're the baddest damn lady around. Oh, mama, 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 now don't you let me down. No. You know now everybody's looking.
Yeah, well, that's just history making. There's no car in the world that goes that quick or that fast with a body on. Don Perdome the Snake, still undefeated in NHRA competition since last September.
Down, 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 down,